Hello everyone, this is V Buzzing with V. Welcome to another video. Today we're making some Santa bows. This is the Santa bow die set. So let's go over what you're getting. So you do get 20 pieces and 2 sizes. So you did get the legs, you get the boots, you also get the fluff that goes over the boots as well as the fold of the boot on the top part of it. And you also get the base, the layering piece that goes on top of that, and a belt to go around the bow. So this is ScrapDivaDesigns.com information. She has an Instagram, a YouTube. Here's a hashtag ScrapDivaDesigns. Follow that hashtag to gain so much amazing inspiration from talented crafters. So this is the bow that we are making today. And again, at the end of the video, you will see a red glittered belt around that bow. So as time went on during the day, I changed that up. So I had to do it. So it had to be done. So these are it right here. I just love how they came out. They're similar to my Halloween bows, and I had fun with this as well. It was a really nice die to play with and decorate. So I'm using these stickers that were gifted to me by the Pink Ape Marissa. And if I had to guess, they're from Hobby Lobby or Michaels. So let's get started. So again, I'm not using double-sided pattern paper. It's single-sided. So I did cut 2 of the base layers out, and that is the scalloped bow, and I cut 2. So we're going to layer that up and make a faux double-sided paper. You get the legs, you get I'm using a snowflake. I also layered the boots with some black glittered cardstock from Michaels by Recollections. I'm using some twine, which you can pick up at Michaels as well. I have a sentiment, which I do change later on. That one was just too long. I'm using the snowflake die set. It comes in a bundle now, and there are 3 sizes. So that's the one I'm using, and it's also in glittered cardstock from Michaels. So cut your 2 layers. That is the scallop edge piece, and that is the base. So again, I don't have double-sided paper. I'm doing a faux double-sided paper. I'm curling the inner part of that bow, and that's the red one. So it's going to curl in because it's going to be in the inside of the bow, so we can see that. So I'm going to go ahead and also do the outer part, put them together and glue them down with some hot glue. So you could use your glue of choice. In my case, I'm using a hot glue for a faster result. So just use any type of tool to help you curl the pattern paper. That way you don't get any folds or creases, and if you do get folds or creases, just try to smooth them out with whatever round tool that you're using, like I'm doing. I do have a discount code for you. It's V10, and that'll save you 10%. If you have double-sided pattern paper, you do not have to do this step. So skip this step altogether and only die cut 1 of those pieces. The base is now assembled. This is what it looks like. I'm going to add the layering piece now. This is piece number 2 or layer 2. I did do some stitching off camera. I'm adding some glue to the middle of the bow. I'm following up with some glue on the edges of that bow and gluing it to the back. Layer 2 is all set. This is what it looks like. Now moving on to the shoes. So I did use some black glittered cardstock from Michaels by Recollections. I die cut a lining. For the lining of the boot, I used the leg piece to do that. And you just cut as much as you need and cut off the excess like this. And of course the die comes with the layer of the boot, which is in charcoal here, and I just love the contrast of the black and the charcoal together. It just brings out the charcoal and brings out the white and red as well. I'm gluing on the fluff or the snow for the boot. I did leave out the piece where the top layer of the fold of the boot, I left that out. So you do have that option of using that. I'm also using some twine here, which I did tie a bow with. You can find the twine at Michaels and I believe Target as well. I just want to say real quick, for those who have been following know that I am a pastel crafter, and recently I've changed to traditional. I just want to say that pastel will come back. So I just needed to take a step back and try something different. It's time to add the bow to the legs, and I'm doing that with hot glue right here. I'm adding some very thick foam. This is a piece of a sheet of foam that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. It's very thick. I'm not sure the sizing of it, but if you can get the thickest, that would be it. Gluing down the snowflake, I did die cut this out from some glittered cardstock from Michael's again, by Recollections. I'm adding my sticker, my Santa sticker. I just love this. I wish they had it in pastel as well. That would be amazing. I guess I'm just going to have to make my own. So we'll see about that. So I did add the Santa. I'm adding the sentiment. I decided to go with Be Jolly. And reason being is it was smaller and it just looked best with the bow. So I did do a fishtail at the end with my scissors, did it freehand. So did that off camera. I'm just gluing this down to the side here. And later on, I will add the red glittered belt. It's time to add some snowflakes. I took the snowflake from the Cookies for Santa die set from ScrapDiva Designs as well. I cut out pieces of acetate, and if you can cut out a thin layer, enough for the snowflake to fit on. I did 3 of them, and I glued them down with some Barely Arts glue. I'm using those snowflakes to mimic falling snow on the bow. I'm going to glue the acetate down with some score tape, and I will follow up with some hot glue later in the video. So I'm doing that in fast mode. I do place a dark sheet of pattern paper here so you can see the snowflakes better. We are just about done. I'm going to glue down the back layer of the bow. This is just a backing in white cardstock. It is a 80-pound white cardstock from Hobby Lobby, the heavy duty cardstock pack. And so I just start with the top first and I work my way down. Real quick, I want to remind you that I will add a red glittered cardstock around the bow. That is the belt of the bow, and I do that off camera. Also, you are able to use liquid glue here. I just use hot glue because it's a fast drying. I also prefer it because it feels like chipboard, which makes my projects very sturdy. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I love making these bows. They're great for treat bags as well as putting them on albums. They're also great for favors and craft fairs if you have one. Also for gift giving. I just love them. Also for embellishments. I did make them as an embellishment. So I just love the snowflake and the sentiment and the twine. It all just pulls and ties everything together. All I'm doing here is inspecting it all, making sure everything's to my liking. So here is the belly band or belt per se, and I'm just showing you what I do off camera. So I just stick that in there with some hot glue and glue it to the other side. So you would do this step right after you glue down that second layer of that bow. So it would be the pattern paper with the mittens and hats on it, and you would do that right after that layer. So this is what it looks like here. This concludes the video. I hope you enjoyed this and will be making your very own. Please be sure to follow on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok as well, and I will see you in the next video.